Welcome back to the AMSOIL Championship Snocross Series. Right now, the racers are getting ready for their big Pro Stock Final. Now, these are the big sleds too, but they are right off the dealership floor. Our very own Rod Simons and the MacMan Paul Mack are standing by to give us more on the stock class. Guys?
Nothing finer than a slick track in front of us for the Pro Stock Final. It's Saturday night in Duluth. Rod Simons along with the MacMan Paul Mack, and we're excited.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to see what this holds in store. Now, let's think about it. 22 laps with 20 guys in there on a tight track. Look how smooth it looks now. Take a picture of it. It won't last long.
This is a long marathon.
Exactly. Remember, they've been waiting all year now. This is the first final of the year, Pro Stock Final. They've been waiting since last year. They all have something to prove. Look at this. You talk about mayhem.
I love this too. The difference between day and night racing, we'll talk in a moment, but the bottom line is we have lights, we have the roar of the engines. Danny Ebert, Robbie Malinowski, and Tucker Hibbert are all out and running hard.
Wow, look at this. I cannot believe it. Danny Ebert again. Now, for those of you that thought, he had lucky hole shot. He was just lucky to get out in front and lead Tucker. Well, he just demonstrated there was no luck involved. This kid's got skill.
What you see is what you get, and Ebert proven he's the real deal. Does he have something to prove to himself as well as some of his other drivers, namely Tucker Hibbert?
I think absolutely. He demonstrated something that we never dreamt of. That was qualifying. That's just to get you into the final. Now you're in the final. Now you want to demonstrate, well, I didn't qualifying, I can do it in the final, and I'm going to make it stick this time.
Tucker Hibbert right behind. He's patient too, even though he's charging hard.
He's going hard, don't kid yourself. He's running about as fast as he can, but he's not going to go a little too fast, push the envelope, make a mistake, and have someone pass him. He's that good.
Every race I watch with you, the one thing you always talk about is one mistake. Even with a big lead like that?
Remember, the one little mistake takes you out of your rhythm, so that one little mistake at that point might only cost you 2, 3, 4 sled lengths, but it's what it does to your rhythm and your mental state. That's the big damage.
And so far, so good for Danny Ebert, number 60, running hard. Tucker Hibbert right behind, entering into lap 7.
Check this out. Lap 7 we're going into, and Tucker Hibbert isn't nearly close enough to strike. Danny Ebert isn't holding him off. He's driving away from him. This kid's a first-year pro.
27 seconds on that last lap, and they're getting the ride of their lives out there. It's bumpy, it's choppy, and the snow's everywhere.
Exactly. No, the problem is now the snow dust. You can see it start to hang in the air. We talked about that light condition a little while ago. Now that flat light mixed with the snow dust, it's hard to read the lip of a jump. If you're coming into a double, it might not be as sharp that you think it is, or it might be too sharp and launch you too high and get too much air. Yeah, and now Tucker's getting closer. Now we're getting within 4 or 5 sled lengths where Tucker can make a move, but we'll see. It still can be just a matter of lap traffic, sort things out, and reshuffle it all again.
Remember, it's a mindset, too. This is not a qualifier, as Hibbert is catching Ebert. We're into lap 11. We still have half a race to go.
Exactly. It's one thing to catch him. It's a whole nother animal to pass him.
And look at that.
Right when I say that, Rod, I have to eat my words.
Mission accomplished, and there's no running now.
Now we know why we call him the T-Train. He was 5 sled lengths behind, and in one turn between 1 and 2, he made up 5 sled lengths and made the pass, made it stick.
His game is just excellent, and look at him move.
You know, we talked about getting a piece with the machine, being one with the machine, just having a good rhythm, a good run going, and not force the issue.
And just look at the separation that he's gaining. Why is he so good?
You know, and this is where he really shines. Not only is he good at making the pass, this is where he shines. Lap traffic. See, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Malinowski's sled was on fire up there in the corner.
And they're charging hard into lap 14, 28 seconds on that last lap. The Monster Energy drink gets Tucker Hibbert. He's taking care of business.
Absolutely, but with Malinowski up there, up at turns 3 and 4, that won't be a quick fix. I just saw him shooting a fire extinguisher on that sled.
Yellow
flag's out.
Tell us what that means.
That means they have to slow down. You have to keep your track or your ski in contact with the snow. You have to be under control, but look at that mess up there.
And we talked about the day versus the night, and it looks a little messy. The visibility has to be an issue.
Now, speaking of visibility, now check this out. They're going back down into 1 and 2. When he comes back up the hill here where the yellow flag is, not only visibility issue from the snow dust, there's a guy shooting a fire extinguisher, one of the safety workers, a track worker. You got fire extinguisher in the air, snow in the air, breathing it. You don't know what's going on.
And you got the Simon sled dying right there in the middle of the track. It is a mess.
You know, there's Robbie's sled was upright, the fire is out, but you have all that fire retardant is in the air. Breathing that stuff, smelling it, you know what this mess is.
Your leader, Tucker Hibbert, number 68, The yellow flag trying to move, that's a little dangerous right there, but they're getting the traffic to the outside. Smart stuff.
Exactly, but now it depends when Tucker comes around again. If he hits that at the wrong time, meaning they lift the yellow flag, they're done. Tucker's slowed down, but coming up behind him, there's people just waiting to pick him off. Danny Ebert would love to see him slow down and roar right by him with momentum.
Tucker Hibbert wants a 48th title. This guy has done a lot of winning. He's used to being in this position. He knows what he's doing, and he's still charging as hard as he was on lap 2.
When we're coming back around now towards the home stretch, he's definitely not going to take any chances. He's going to go way wide or way inside. He's not going to get caught up in any melee at all.
Final lap, 28 seconds on the last spin. Tucker Hibbert, your leader, looking good, getting little air now. and he knows what's at stake.
He does it. Wow, I don't believe it. I really thought Danny Ebert might be the spoiler. He might be the one to dethrone the king, Tucker Hibbert.
The king lives.
Fans, this race was for you. All the Snocross racers. Garth, let's start with you. You came out of nowhere. Talk to me about what kind of lines you must have seen to take a third place podium finish from where you were.
You know what? It was a lot of work. I had a rough day today. It seems like everything that could have went wrong did. So I really needed this to get, my weekend back.
You must be proud. Dan Ebert, this is your first pro final. Talk to me about that.
Just unbelievable. That's all I can say. I'm just going to ride as hard as I can.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And let's talk about Dan here for a second. Comes off with the whole shot. When you saw him, and for once there was someone else with the bullseye in front of you, what were you thinking at that point?
It was kind of nice to be able to follow Dan at first. He had some really good lines. I was just thankful to be out in the first few guys at least. Actually, I had to battle with Robbie Malinowski for a while as well. We had a couple back and forth passes, so that was fun.
Fans, the undefeated man to beat, Tucker Hibbert. You guys do Arctic Cat proud. Here you go, everyone. Let's give it up for a real round of applause for the AMSOIL Duluth National.
Thanks, Misha. Great to see that Arctic Cat sweep. And MacMan, how did you spend your summer? Well, I'll tell you how Danny Ebert did, and he did it on the dirt. Summer vacation with this first-year pro. Spent it with his family, not racing on the snow, but he did it on the dirt track. Great time indeed. This is the first family of Snocross, the family that races together, stays together.
When we return to Duluth, it's the big show. The big machines and the finals of the Pro Open class on the AMSOIL Championship Snocross Series. What racer will have the right stuff to get to the podium? The answer when the green flag flies.